sped up. Why was that thing hauling ass? Holy shit. Ask me what I like to do after working such a long day. Go ahead. If you said anything but eat pizza, dead wrong. Check it out, guys. My favorite spot for pizza in Kew Garden. Probably the only spot. I can't really see, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4 slices. 4 of them. 4 of them. Plan is to not eat all 4. I'm just gonna eat 2. And then after that, I'll tell you guys about my day. So, see you in a bit. Guys, you remember my first video where I was like, if you start something and you don't go through with it, then you're a loser? Well, I had 4 slices. I didn't want to just eat 2, so I ate the whole thing. Damn, that was a lot of food. Anyway, sorry, I was watching this WWE blooper. It's completely unrelated, but it got me so cracked up, yo. I'll probably link it just because it's that funny. But anyway, wait. Yo, so my day today actually wasn't that bad. I mean, despite having the 4 legs, being up front, I was in the 7.5, 3 of the 4 legs. I really like the 7.5 when you're in the front, because boarding happens at the 2 left door and I don't have to go and board. Excuse me. That's probably the least favorite part of mine, is boarding and deplaning. So during boarding, I can just do my manifest, do pre-departure drinks, coats, all that stuff. And then announcements, it's all done through the front, and it's fun. And I think my crew, we were just over it. We were just, 4th day, 4 legs. We were just kind of going through the motion and just wishing we were done after 1 leg. But after 4, we were just so happy, like that little last burst of energy to get us through the finish line. And then, boom, there you go. Came home, showered, skated to Danny's, as you guys saw, and devoured 4 freaking slices, because we don't quit at 2 when you get 4. We go 100%, right? Oh man. But which brings me to the point of this video. I want to talk about being flight leader and how much I like it more than being all the other positions. All right, I was gonna change scenery, but that pizza really got to me, so I'm gonna stay here and talk to you about why I like being a flight leader. The most obvious one for me is less people. So let's say, for example, the 7.5 and the 7.3, 737-900, the planes that I worked on during the strip. 20 people, my first class, versus the 150 or whatever it is in the back. It's just easier, I believe, to work with 20 people who, by the way, are more likely than not to be frequent flyers than the ones in the back. Because in my experience, again, my opinion, people in the front are frequent flyers, and they typically know how service goes, which means they know what they want, they know what's on board, and they kind of have an expectation of what the flight's going to be and how service is, the flow, and all of that stuff, etc. And in the back, especially in the summer, you have a lot of people who are flying for the first time, or they haven't flown in months, maybe even years, and they forgot how the flow is or what you have. And the thing that gets me is when people ask me, what do you have? And it really gets to me, because we tell people there's a menu, like a physical menu. There's also a screen where you can look at it, touch the screen, navigate, and then get to a virtual menu. So there are actually 3 ways. There's a magazine. There's also a menu in there. So there are 3 ways to look at the options we have on board, drinks and snacks. And when people don't pay attention and they look at you like you're crazy when they say, what do you have? And you're hearing it for like the 400th time that day, it kind of gets to you. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like this, all around any other airline. So going back to first class, they ask me what do I have for meals, which is just 2 options, and you get that maybe 20 times if none of them know what's happening versus the 150 in the back. Another reason is because you get paid more, a little more, not much, but it does stack up over time. If you keep doing this, you know, each trip, if all you do is flight leader, you're gonna get your regular hourly pay on top of that flight leader pay, which is, like I said, it's not much, but pause. Love when that thing comes by, except when I'm eating, because I feel like it's gonna take my pizza away. But anyway, yo, yeah, flight leader, it'll give you that extra money when you're not really working that much harder than people in the back. If anything, you're working less, I feel like.
Attention Long Island Railroad customers.
So I'm a huge people person. I do love it. I love being around people. I like meeting new people. I like meeting strangers. I like being around my friends. But when you're working in this industry and you're around people all the time, like almost 12 hours a day when you have a long day like today, it's nice to just be able to sit up in the front by yourself, like in a jump seat when it's downtime and service is done, everyone is chilling, everyone's asleep, and you kind of just, you know, waiting to do a water walk or a coffee blitz or just check up on your passengers. And it's kind of nice to just be in solitude and, you know, kind of have your thoughts together, think about the day. What I like to do personally is I like to sit in the front after everything is done, all the work is done, and then my coworkers, other flight attendants, are in the back, they're doing their own thing. And it's kind of reflect. It's a good time for me to reflect on life in general, just what's going on in my life, what I'm going to do that day. If I have a fun layover, you know, I kind of plan things out, even for videos. I think about what I want to write in my journal, just all these different thoughts that I can sit there and enjoy by myself. And I think it's nice being alone by yourself for even just a little bit, even though you're in a metal tube going 800 miles an hour with like 300 other people. Nice little quiet area to yourself, even for a little bit of the time you're in the air. This dude is straight up just staring at me from the other side of the railroad. I don't know, that guy right there. Hey bro, it's 2019, you've never seen anyone talk to a phone? Peace, bruh. Anyways, I think those are the main reasons why I like being flight leader. I think they're very valid. I don't know what else I could think of, but if I do, I'll randomly mention it in a different video. Hey man, I'm trying to vlog! Alright guys, come with me to CVS real quick, because I need to get stuff from the crash pad. For the crash pad, not from the crash pad. Anyway, just come with me, let's go. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh my god, yo! Let's make this quick. Done. What the? Really? Fine, I'll get green. All done. I just realized I showed you the B-roll, so you saw what I got. Never mind. All right, well, that's the end of this episode. See you guys tomorrow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Keep failing forward, my friend. Peace.